Yeah. Hi, Joan. Thank you so much for being part of this. I'm just Great. I'm just introducing Joan, who's one of the servers at St Oswald's, and she's been involved in the church in lots of different ways over many, many years. And the first reason I asked Joan to get involved in this is because people had said she's a prayer. And then the second reason was because I was interested when we started to talk that Joan said that her prayers had changed since she was a child, and now they're different. And so I was wondering, Joan, if you would first tell us how your prayers were like, what your prayers were like as a child.
Yes, well, as a child, I did pray every night, and I used to kneel by the side of my bed, but I said the same prayer every night. And I think it included the Lord's Prayer as well. And then I always said, and please God, make me a good girl. And it on for some years. And then I suddenly thought one day, this is ridiculous. I'm saying the same prayer every night and ending with this, make me a good girl. And I stopped praying like that from that moment. And then I started praying silently because I like to do things rather than say things. And I'm better at doing things than saying things. So that's why I pray silently, because I don't have to say words. I'm saying it in my head and in my heart. So.
And tell me about how you went to stay with your grandmother.
I went to stay with my grandmother when I was 10. She lived in Ashbourne, the same as all my family did. And she was a widow. She had been for at least, 10 years, because my grandfather died in 38. So I went in about 1950. And I just won a scholarship to the grammar school. She was living on her own, so my dad thought it would be company for her. I'd have my own room because I had to share one with 3 other sisters, and so I went to live with her. And we always went to evensong, and that's why I've got such a love of evensong today, because it takes me back to when I used to go with my grandmother. And so I went with her, and I do like the litany of evensong, and I do like traditional church services as well, especially the prayers.
One thing you said about the prayers was when you think other people pray beautifully, and you love to hear these beautiful prayers.
I do, yes, because as I say, I'm not good with words, so I do love to hear other people's prayers, as well as the ones in the services as well, but what people say. And I like the intercessions. I used to be a home communion server with Rachel Chipchase and Pam Phillips. We did it for about 15 years. Pam Phillips, her prayers were wonderful. She always did the prayers when she was able to come with us. And she'd just sit down having a cup of coffee, and she'd write these lovely prayers full of from her heart, and pertinent to the things of the day. So Rachel and I used to do the service, and she used to do the prayers. And then when she couldn't go, Rachel didn't like doing prayers because she didn't have a computer, so I always did the prayers. So I have actually done prayers and said prayers, but I do like my own little silent ones. So, but when I'm listening to other people's prayers, I always put my little prayers in with them, so I'm praying along with them while they're saying their prayers too.
As a vicar, that's encouraging, because often we'll say, we're going to have a silent bit here for you to pray, and now I know that somebody out there really is praying.
Yeah, but I'm actually doing it while they're talking as well. I do that quite often. So,
how is that possible?
If they mention something like world crisis, and then I add my little bit as well.
Lovely.
And
the other thing you said is praying over the paper.
Yes, that's how I pray. If I'm reading the paper, and of course it's full of, you know, the poor immigrants, people in these camps, people with corona, people who've died. So if I see a picture, I put my hand on it, and then I try and pray from God through me, asking for God's, you know, comfort or peace or healing on that particular person or people in the picture. So I do like to do that. So.
Thank you so much. That's been brilliant. That's lovely.
Good.
Yeah, thank you so much. God bless.
Okay then, thank you.
Bye.